Hey, how we going, guys? Mick here from the Hop Cartel. I just thought I'd start off with one of the mini videos spoken about in the last video. So I've decided to leave the Cascade as it is and go with a heap of East Kent Goldings that I had potted up. The original Pride Ringwood and Chinook that I spoke about. So this afternoon I decided to go down, get the coconut core medium to wrap them in, some old newspaper as well. So out of the 12 pots that I had going there, check back over the notes, the East Kent Goldings is about 2 years old. Like I said, check back over the notes to work out when they'll put in, and then decide to start on those ones. So I didn't get as many as what I thought out of the 12 pots. I got some decent sized rhizomes from them. So for those guys that were interested last season who contacted me, I've lost record of that. I'm terrible at remembering names, so hopefully those guys get in contact with me. So far I've only done the East Kent. Next weekend I'll be looking at digging up the Pride of Ringwood and the Chinook and working out what I've got there in the way of those varieties. I've definitely got a whole lot more of those than I would the East Kent, being that the Pride of Ring and the Chinook are in the ground and are quite, I would imagine, are quite large crowns by now, as I stated in the first video. So basically the process was digging them up, giving them a bit of a wash and dividing them. I started with the coconut core. It's they are just grab them. There's the block there. Makes 30 litres. Amazing core power. Bigger plants. Eco-friendly. Great superior water retention capabilities. Bacteria free. Like it states, awesome water retention. So basically I've gone with that one. Don't know if that's available worldwide, but they are a well-known brand. Fun to use. So obviously I'm having fun because I'm doing something I like doing. So in the bucket I've used up one whole cube. The 2 cubes cost me about $10 and make up 30 litres each, so I've got 30 litres there. For those that do brew, have 60 litre fermenters, would know the size of the 60 litre fermenter. It's obviously a decent size, so think of that 2 of these buckets worth. It's a decent sized bucket too. That's a 30 litre bucket. Maybe a little bit more, but that's the stuff there. Obviously once it absorbs water, it goes from being that to that. Quite good stuff. Good for gardens. People do use it as their main soil medium, with sand and some other stuff mixed into it, but there's a fair bit there, and I've already used some out of that. The rhizomes, as you can see there, just basic sort of root system. Little bud-like things that are on them there. They're your where your vines obviously start growing from. So that's all I've done, is I've put down a base of the coconut core, placed the rhizomes on top of them, and then a little bit more on top. You can see those little buds there coming up, and one there, but there's another one on top there. Just there, you can see. Obviously, yeah, put them onto the newspaper, lay them out, and then wrap the newspaper up as tight as you can, and place in a clip lock bag. Don't know what the rest of the world calls them, but we call them clip lock bags or sappies, or that's basically it. That's sort of where we're at so far. We've got the East Kent goldings up. I went out and I checked the crown. That was no good. The passion fruit vine decided to grow over the top of it. Thus wasn't allowing the sun to get in there, and it rotted out. It was a pretty big crown, so I've lost out there. I've kept some of the goldings for myself. That's refrigerated now, so that's so that's where we're at with those. So next weekend I'll up the rest of them. I'll have more on offer. I'll thin out. I'll keep sort of what I want, and then the rest can go to new homes. Basically, like I said, I'm willing to post, but time and lack of is definitely a downside from my end of things. So if locally anyone in the Newcastle, New South Wales area of Australia is chasing some, certainly let me know. I'll only go as far as serving up those that who are interested on taking a couple of varieties rather than just one or two sort of the same variety. I'd rather you take all three that I've got on offer. But in saying that, I didn't get as much as the East Kent as what I thought, and I'm going to have a whole lot more of the Pride of Ringwood, but they will be decent sized pieces. I know when I first started out, I ended up with just basically little pieces like that, whereas these are, as you can see there, I'm lifting up that's basically a whole rhizome there, roots and all. I've cut nothing off them, I've just rinsed them, and that's all I've done. I haven't chopped them back in anyway. Wherever they've sort of grown through the bottom of the pot and then I've broken them away, they will be cut there, but they are whole rhizomes. They're good size. So at this stage I've got 3 bags of those to offer, all wrapped in the core newspaper in the bags, straight into the crisper of the fridge, ready to go. That's basically it. I'm still in the middle of trying to get the rest of the shelves built out here, get the cave, get the brewery all set up. It's a battle with all my stuff and the kids' stuff, and me wanting to have the whole space to myself, never going to work. But so here I've got the it's a little bit darker than what I expected, but it's the SARS Pilsner, basically just a kit beer, a little bit of grain. Tastes bloody sensational though, for what it is. Fine tune the kit beers. to a point now where I gave some to a fella up the road he's just starting to get into his craft beers now, or what he considers craft beers, like your fat yaks and stuff like that. So he's gone from your mainstream sort of basic bite anywhere off the shelf sort of beers, starting to move over into those fruitier ones with better esters and stuff. So he had a few of those. Had the daughter's birthday party a few weeks ago, and he's dropping his kids off at the party, and he said, "Mate, those beers are sensational." No, he said I've had a home brew before, but he said that's far superior than anything he's ever had from someone else. So he's given me a good rap, and that's, you know, it makes you excited. So basically, yeah, that was good. Today I'm the kids' requests again. Not so much to do with hops or anything, but they've requested more jerky. They're jerky mad, especially my little 6-year-old. He's crazy about jerky. I'm crazy about jerky, and they're starting to take it to school now, and it's a bit of an eye opener for some of the other kids at the school too. They've probably never seen it before, or it's not something that's done in their household, or let alone even brought commercially from the shop. So that's something that I'm starting to do on a weekly basis now, just to gives us the kids something sort of to get away from junk food, and that does have its health properties. So yeah, as does beer. Apparently 2 beers a day is supposed to be good for you. We can't all do that, but anyway. So that's where we're at with that. Do yourselves a favour if you're getting into growing hops and gardening. Certainly get yourself some of that and mix it through your soil, and yeah, and well improve that the water retention and stuff in it. Some people do use water crystals. That's similar to the product that you'll find in baby nappies. Dry sort of crystal, and then when it gets wet, just the same as the core, starts to expand, takes on the moisture, the soiling, or whatever it may be, takes that on, and does that too, which you can buy. It's readily available for your gardens as well, in water crystals. But this core stuff, I really like that. I haven't used it for a long time, but now that I'm decided to share around the rhizomes after 3 years, I'm back into it. Cheers. Happy hops, happy brewing, and I'll catch you on the next video.